Hey guys, good afternoon. Had a thing delay me. It was something that was unavoidable. I didn't plan for it to happen. Yet, all in all, the same, I rushed to ensure that not only did I do it in the time in which I was able to, that I was able to start the stream as soon as possible. Okay, let's start off with some marriage questions. Huh? Let's start off with the marriage questions. Okay, question number 87. What motivates you to work hard and be your best? What discourages you and slows you down? I think the thing that motivates me to work hard and be my best is a belief that my work has value and that I'm contributing to something that is worthwhile. A thing that would slow me down, people. That's usually the thing that slows me down from my work. Miscommunication, over explanation, and a general sense that every time I speak to them, it's almost a waste of my time. That's usually what happens. Okay, so let's try maybe another one and maybe a couple more, and then that's it for the marriage questions, okay? Name one thing you like about my appearance, one thing you enjoy in my personality, one talent you admire, and one character trait you respect. Dang, that is a long marriage question. Look at this. Number 88. See that? It's supposed to be the last one. Okay. This is all based on assumption. A woman's appearance. So, it's usually the figure as a whole. It could be the top, it could be the bottom, it can be both. It could be a voluptuous woman, it could be a flat chest of justice. It just has to look a certain way. It has to be appealing to my eyes, right? One thing you enjoy about a person's personality. I assume that if I'm dealing with a woman who isn't, you can be serious, but sometimes you got to turn off the seriousness and know how to, laugh, have a good time. Humor would be the operative word. Um, a talent you admire. I admire hard work. I admire dedication. I admire commitment. Having a will that you never quit. You just keep fighting the world day in and day out, and that you're willing to always put your best foot forward. That's one of the ideal character traits that I think most men are looking for, to be honest. But that's something that's very admirable in women. And that was it. All right. Let's do one more of these. What are ways that you have grown and changed in the last year? What areas do you see positive changes in me? Man, one of the ways that I've grown, I don't assume that much of people anymore. I used to assume in a way that they were like me, that people had the best of intentions, and um, that the operative thing that people were looking for was to be drama free, to avoid conflict, and to be problem solvers. It's gone. It's gone. I don't believe that in people anymore. I don't believe the opposite either. What is my favorite word? I don't know. This person is a very complex individual. People are very complex. I don't know. And then I have to start saying phrases like, I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't care to know. And there's no point in going any further than, as far as I have to go. So I'm pretty neutral now. When it talks about areas seeing positive changes in a woman, any type of positive change really is ideal. What I don't want to see is a spiral of negativity that ends in the self-destruction of not only yourself, but everyone and thing around you. I don't want to be a part of that. Yeah. Just saying, I don't want to be a part of that. And if I start to see that that is indeed the case, I don't think our relationship will last too long. Okay, it's the other side of this card. What are the ways you can protect our marriage from adultery? What are the ways we can protect our marriage from adultery? Oh, man. This is a very sticky, tricky question. I would say let's not go to places where that becomes common. I mean, you want to go to a bar, that's fine. I'm not really a bar person. I'm not gonna say I'm an indoor body, but you could say that. You could say that because I don't really go that many places. I'm outside all the time, but I'm walking in nature. I'm a nature boy. I'll walk, in the distance, and I'll be at peace and go, there's no people around here, and I'm happy. That's usually my zen, right? But some people, they need to be constantly surrounded by people in order to feel any type of I don't know if it's validation or that's what they view as enjoyment. I don't need that whatsoever. All right. So that's how I think we would protect the marriage from adultery. Avoiding places where it becomes commonplace. Okay. How do we honor our marriage and keep our marriage bed pure? Depends on the individual, depends on the man and the woman, what they are willing to do and what they're willing to accept. I would say don't rush. That would probably do it. You want to do new things? Fine. You want to do new things every week? That's a problem because you're going to run out of things to try. If you're in it for the long haul, you're going to run out of things to try. Eventually, most married couples, if they've been together for a long time, they eventually hit that point. And at that point, you have to make a decision what you want and how you want to proceed. Again, it's one of those, we get there when we get there, and we'll handle it when it happens. However, let's not think about it right now, and let's not rush the process. That's all I wanted to say. Okay. And, normal fashion, I would take these cards and rip them up. That's my pledge to myself, that I'm going to do this once. Then I'm never going to do this ever again, man. These marriage questions. Man, I guess I can talk about my week a little bit. It went extremely well. Cleaned my car. I did find some employment. That's nice. I helped my brother-in-law. Helped my mother. I'm starting to get to a point where I'm starting to help people less that I don't know because there's just too many there's too many variables at play, and I find myself caring less and less to get involved. So there's that. Trump, he's doing his thing, his presidential thing, getting into wars and bombing Iran, I think. What can I say? I'm a black man. I'm not going to say that has nothing to do with me. I want the country to be safe, but at the same time, it's one of those things where they make these decisions without me, irregardless whether I participate or not. So I just don't participate. Yeah, you're looking at a dude who don't vote. So I don't think about it. I don't worry about it. And I go, I'm pretty sure there's a big majority of people who will take care of that. and whatever they decide upon, that's on them, and I do not care. So that's where I'm at. What else, man? You know, I know when it comes to these live streams, I wanted to do it like weekly, but at the same time, sometimes I wonder if even that's too much. You know what I'm saying? It sounds beautiful when you put it into practice, but at the same time, it's one of those things where I'm like, I live a very, I guess you can say, reserved life. Like, to the point where I'm like, I don't do that much, man. I'll give you a perfect example. So I woke up at 3 a.m. and I started, taking care of myself. And I don't know, I end up like, I do things faster now because I know the process in which it has to be done. And I want to say it was still in the AM when I want to say it was around 9 or 10 a.m. and I went, I'm pretty much done for the day. I had hit the exercise bike for an hour. I had did archery. I had did the tree workout, doing the pull-ups, the dips, and also it's pull-ups, dips. It's the leg up. I call it the leg up, but all you're doing is like hanging on the tree and like pulling your legs up. I did like that. I use that tree now as kind of like a stretch bar to like make sure I get my limbs stretched out. I also do the way of water. I did like 2 sets of those. I did boxing. I'm like, man, it's getting to the point where as a single man, you get to a point where you try to think of your life and you go, there's nothing else for me to do. Like, besides lay my clothes out for the work week and maybe read a book and maybe do something else as a single black man, that there's no responsibility. So I'm like, I'll take care of my responsibilities. I try to take care of them very thoroughly, as quick as possible, to ensure that there is no problems in the future, and I'm usually successful. So, yeah, I'm like, there's no other thing for me to really do. I do have things I'm looking forward to. I mean, I walked into a store and I saw a couch, and I had already accepted the fact that I'm going to buy this couch. I'm like, it's going to be like right in that area, most likely. Like, I'm going to move that and maybe shift it so that I can put like that blue couch like right there. I can put like a television, you know where that Demon Slayer poster is? I can put a like TV right there. So I have a blue couch, TV, maybe put a PlayStation right there. I'm like, after a certain point in time, you just stack up the money and eventually you leave. So that's eventually what's going to happen with me. I'm like, where am I going to go? I do not want a house. And the reason I don't want a house is it's not just the money. It's the time investment to repairs. There are roofing repairs. There are a lot of different things that are required of you when you purchase a house. And as a natural consequence, I do not want a house. Not at all. I'm like, why would I waste my money on a house? It'd be different if I had like a significant other and we decided on a house, but it's just me. So I'm like, fuck it. Condo, shared living situation, like lower level echelon of society, housing arrangement. That's what I'm going to go for. So that's what I'm going to go for. Yeah, I think it'll be a good thing. I'm trying to think about what else. I guess I can pull out the laptop. Let's see if I can find my laptop. Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. I am a little bit excited for the job, a little bit. Just a little bit. But I try not to get too overly excited about anything nowadays because I'm like, I remember feeling this feeling the last time. and getting my hopes up, and things were looking good, and it did not go well. So that was more to do with the it wasn't the job requirements, it was people. Not every job is meant for you. You have to, you know how they say the phrase, you need to find your tribe? That's also true when it pertains to a job. Certain job environments are actually toxic to you. I've been in several different job environments, and I could tell you some job environments were more constructive, were more suitable to my needs specifically. I usually have a tendency to want to do my work and go home. Some jobs kind of require you to socialize a lot. And every time I try, it would appear as if I would overstep my bounds and there'd be some sort of contentious problem. And I'm like, I'm done. No more of that. Oh, hey, Sip Way. Hey, good to see you, man. But yeah, it's with jobs, you have to be very careful. You have to find the job that works for you. If you don't find the job that works for you, you might as well start looking for another job. That's all I'm saying. Yep, I done had it happen way too many times where things were going well. Oh, wow. It's showing what I was, you know what? I'm going to show you what I was watching last time. I fell asleep watching this. This is the dumb stuff I sometimes find myself watching. Kiwi Farms with Joshua, what is it called? Joshua Kana-Moon. I was reading also Kurosagi. This is about the criminal who, it's essentially a revenge tale. Apparently, a guy, he did a crime, right? And the crime, it made his father commit suicide. And that dude was left to fend for himself. And the guy he had to rely on is the dude who, in a way, directly contributed to the death of his father. So that guy, Kurosagi, he has a contentious relationship with, you're going to see a picture of him in a second. Hold up. It's like a fat dude. Hold up. If he pops up. If it pops up. Yeah. I love this story because it's like a crime drama on steroids. An entire story where it's not each chapter, but each section is devoted to one, is devoted to a different crime. Two, there is literally a dynamic that starts to develop between Kurosagi and a young Japanese detective. That dude is crazy. he's how do I call it? He's like a hero cop. He's one of those cops where it's like he does a bit too much, but the thing he does is the thing that almost gets the job done. And the only thing that keeps getting in his way is Kurosagi. Like literally. And it starts to piss him off after a while. It starts to piss him off and he starts like, I don't know if he gets even more and more, how do I say, corrupt? Yeah, that's Kurosagi right there. He's just some random dude who's like, I'm going to trick those who trick people out of money. So there's the I think it's Shirokashi. No, it's the Kurosagi and Shirogashi. It's one of those where it's like the white swindlers and the black swindlers. He's a black swindler. That's why he goes by Kurosagi. I think it's Shirogashi. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, in every chapter, he has to meet up with the guy, right? Oh, this is the girl. See, even this girl is a nice dynamic. She is trying to become a young lawyer. And what she starts to see is that there are situations where the law cannot help you at all. And it starts to kind of, I don't want to say corrupt her mental, but it starts to make her question even the law itself, because he keeps getting caught up in situations where the law literally cannot help him. And he is forced to solve it his way. And his way is by swindling. He has to swindle the swindler. And he's a cool motherfucker, man. I love this manga so much. But yeah. Hold up. I'm trying to see where that fat guy is. He has to meet up, like in every chapter, it's like he has to meet up with that fat dude who is like his handler. He's the one he has to buy information from. I'm trying to see what this guy right here, the fat guy. He's a super smart, like, information broker. And what criminals do is they go to the information broker when they want a specific thing done, right? And the last case involving this dude, he was, I guess you can say, instrumental in the swindling, right? So in the last case, a construction company paid him to write a false check. No, to guarantee a false check, right? And the false check was used when it was handed to a specific company. It was used not only to take money from them, but essentially they doubled the amount of false notes and they forged the date in which it was to be like authenticated or whatever, so that instead of it being 220 million that would have been taken out of that account over the course of 10 months, it was 440 million that was all supposed to be taken out on the same day, essentially bankrupting that company and making it so that that company would go bankrupt. And you go, why would swindlers want to bankrupt a company? That's the part in which the other company that paid for that, that's where they fucked up. If it was just a normal swindle, swindlers want money. So the fact that they used that method in order to fully bankrupt that company, that was the, I guess you can call it the telltale mark that there was something more to that swindle. And both Shirogashi and the young detective guy, they both come to that conclusion. But Kurosagi, he's the one who actually comes up with a brilliant solution, right? What that dude did essentially was the company that was to be, that was meant to default. What that company had to do was it had to go to the bank, take out all the money that was still in the account before the, what's it called? The maturation date on the false notes, right? So it took out all the money and then it closed its doors. But as it was doing that, it also transferred the rights from the father to the son, and it opened up a brand new company in the same location. And it went from a limited to a limited liability company, ensuring what? That the property stayed within the family. The son got the money to continue the business. However, the only downside to that was, number one, they could not buy the land that they were trying to steal. And the reason they were trying to steal it was for a development deal in which that company had essentially bought all the land in the surrounding area. They were trying to, another company wanted its headquarters to be in that specific spot. And in order for that to happen, they had to buy out that company. And because they couldn't do that, they had to abandon their plans. But that put the swindling company in big trouble. Not only did they not get the money for their swindle, they failed at making the company that they swindled close its doors. So I know they were in big fucking trouble. I was like, damn, that's the craziness of this manga. Why am I reading this as a teenager? I have no fucking idea. But essentially the manga had taught me the difference between a limited and a limited liability company and the intricacies of land ownership to an extent. And I went, holy hell, these manga dudes are crazy, bro. Who the hell went through all the mangaka had to learn all of that. The mangaka had to learn all of that in order to successfully write this manga. I'm like, oh my God, dude, the mangaka is insane, right? And I feel the same way about the mangaka of, type it in. Certain manga artists they're certified insane. I'll give you a perfect example. Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone. The amount of information and one of those like that's Senku, right? The amount of information that's sometimes on display and one of the like panels when you're reading the manga, you're like, what the fuck? Like, how much research did you have to do? How many times did you have to read The Inventions of Man to get a basic understanding of what the fuck you were reading and then translate it into this manga? Like, it is insanity the amount of information that was required. I'm like, oh my God, does this dude have like a PhD? Like, you cannot be stupid and write this. You cannot be stupid and write. I'm like, oh my God, dude, it's disgusting. I want to see if I can find it. It's like the inventions panel, like how disgusting it is. Like, if I can see just one of those panels. Yeah, this. Perfect fucking example. You be like looking at it and you're like, huh, that's weird. And it's like, bruh, this nigga be making electricity and then like, hold up, can I get to it? Let's see if I can view the image. Like, bigger this. This nigga is taking iron, alcohol, fucking vinegar to turn. The goal is to make this cure-all safe drug. But the amount of steps required to get there is It's like disgusting, right? It's like essentially, I know it's, what is it called? I think it was penicillin, essentially, they're making, I think. It's either that or I'm pretty sure it's penicillin. But like just looking at it sometimes I'm like, oh my God, how insane do you have to be to put that into that like that? To know that, oh, if I take this, I can turn it into this with this, and it'll turn into that. And all of these things together create the, I'm like, oh my God, dude. You're starting to see the reason why I was such a nerd in like middle school and high school. You're starting to see some of it, you know, like I would be like reading manga. I'm trying to think of a manga that like kind of changed my life. What is a manga that changed my life? Welcome to the NHK. I still remember it to this day because this guy, the main guy, let's see if I can see it. View image. Man, the dude's a hikikomori, and you're like, this guy, right? And you're like, what the fuck is a hikikomori? It's a dude who's, there is the NEET, not in education, employment, or training. So there's the NEET. The hikikomori is the guy who never leaves his house, right? And this is a specifically Japanese thing that can happen to people sometimes when they feel like they don't belong. They just sort of shut down and they never leave their house, right? And this girl right here, I remember this girl, specifically her. She supposedly takes on the role of his like tutor. She's trying to get him to leave his house. And the story is, how do I say this politely? Story is insanity. It's psychotic. It's not like nothing about this entire situation is healthy. And you're like, why do you remember it so well? Because I remember being a teenager and watching this and going, I feel exactly like this dude. Like, I felt at one point in my life, I felt exactly like that dude. And sometimes there are points in my life where I still feel like that dude. Trapped. Like I can't go anywhere. Like things aren't working out. And the real mangaka artist, let me get it right again. I'm trying to say manga artist. That's an easier way to say it instead of mangaka or whatever. That guy was depressed. He wrote a happy ending to this story. The real story is more tragic. That dude, I don't think he committed suicide, but he failed. But even though the real version of him failed, he wrote a version of himself that would have succeeded. And I went, oh, that is like super cool. You know what I'm saying? It's a great thing. You know, sometimes you read a manga and it can change your entire life. And, let's see where we're at. Okay. I'm going to show you one more thing and then I guess I'm done for today. I want to show you, let's see if I can find it. Okay. I'm going back to the dollars board. I think I just want to read what I wrote yesterday. Right? I'm trying to remember where I wrote it. It's not, is it countries? Where did I write it? I remember I wrote something that made me feel like, I think it was in the random board. Oh, yeah, I wrote several things. Okay. Let's see if I can find it. Random thought. I'm going to read you my random thought yesterday, if I can find it. Give me a second. Okay. Let's see. Where is it? Man, it's dominated by Furion and Nas piece. I know for a fact I wrote something. If I can find it. Give me a second. I mean, I know I could control F, but sometimes you want to, There it is. Okay. You ready? I'm going to read this to you. And then I think I'm done. And somebody had to be a smart aleck and said, I don't think that's how black holes work. This motherfucker didn't quite comprehend that there's a machine that can create black holes. There is a machine that can create black holes. I know there is, because they talked about it. Yeah, when the scientific community made that discovery that there's a machine that can create black holes, they talked about it, if I remember correctly. It was several years ago. But this is what I wrote. It was just a random thought. If it is true that there is a machine that can create black holes from nothing, in the future there will be a system of two twin pistols, one that creates black holes and the other that shoots the bullets. Then men will be able to curve a bullet at will with the assistance of AI, and there will be a time before the technology becomes widely available for public consumption. The secret intelligence agencies will utilize this method to kill people from impossible angles, making those murders unsolvable by default. They can already do this, but it will make their jobs that much easier. I'm sorry. Yesterday, my mind, for some reason, tried to create a scenario in which I got away with murder easier and perpetually knew it would never be resolved. I don't murder. I don't murder. I'll say it again. I don't murder. My mind is the mind of a mad scientist. My theory has flaws, right? I'm admitting that there are flaws to this theory. The pinpoint accuracy of the AI would have to be so precise, making it almost folly to involve a human co-pilot. We already have drones that can snipe, making such a thing to be a waste of taxpayer dollars and childish to bring up with people with security clearance to top government secrets. The only reason men would want something like this is because it's sick as fuck, like the Green Goblin glider. But the Green Goblin glider is a real thing now, so this might become a thing as well. And then the next person put, I don't think that's how black holes work. I forgot what it was called. It was a machine collider. It was like some particle collider. They were making black holes in this machine. I think it was like a particle acceleration collider or something like that. The fact that they could potentially make a black hole, that lets me know what? That it's possible. You know, when the computer, this thing, when it was first constructed, it took up the space of really big rooms until they finally got it to this size. So, if it is true that there is a machine that can create black holes, eventually, what might happen? It'll get to this size. Something that you can fit in the palm of your hand. That was the, spirit of what I wrote. Well, I guess that's it. Yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And, I hope you guys have an excellent week. You know what I'm saying? I hope things go well for you guys and you continue to take care of yourselves. Bye.